YCS Memphis has come and gone, and it was, well, I'm actually pretty underestimative of the event. I'll be completely honest with you. I'm very shocked to see, well, not too shocked, but there's a couple questions that I want to try to answer as best as I can here. So first off, what's up, guys? It's your favorite fat blue coal 40 whale looking motherfucker here. First off, congrats to Team Samurai X1 finishing undefeated in Swiss. That is no absolute easy feat. It's actually very impressive in my opinion. Having YouTuber do that, he's been very excellent in knowing what he's doing. He did give me a thorough ass beating in the YouTuber Grand Championship, so that's kind of something that you guys should definitely show him some love. The man definitely did a lot of fucking work to get to that point, and he's been very impressive as of late in the community. So, a couple of interesting things with this YCS besides Sam smashing through the competition and getting through Top Cut. Fortunately, he lost in Top Cut. Not really much you can do about that. It's kind of one of those things, if you go undefeated in Swiss and you don't take a loss or an L, you know it's going to be even more heartbreaking and devastating when you eventually lose in Top Cut, because it's your first loss. But anyway, double Pendulum Magician finals. Told y'all that True Draco ain't gonna win another fucking YCS. I had an entire theory and rundown as to the reason why True Draco won Salt Lake City, because a lot of people stopped siding for it and they weren't really prepared for the matchup. Eventually you have to understand that as the meta evolves, a lot of you kind of have a hierarchy of decks that people will side for. And one of the things that I saw True Draco kind of have going for its advantage is people stopped really considering it a threat at the time. And it was very true of that one event. True Draco's still a very good card, True Draco's still a very good deck. It's still got a lot of bullshit going for it. We know this. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, if people aren't prepared for the matchup, they're going to get punished. And I think it goes to show, especially in your breakdown of Memphis over here, if a deck is not really prepared for, then it'll creep up. But now that we've learned from Salt Lake City that True Draco is this massive threat, it's not going to win another one. Everyone's going to be massively prepared for it. And this went to show that Pendulum Magician went back to preparing for the matchup. Not a lot to really say about that matchup. We all fucking hate Pendulum Magicians with a passion. And this brings up a sub point. In another video, I made a point about Astrograph and level 7, saying making level 7 exceed monsters was extremely difficult. And somebody's like, well, outside of... there's Astrograph. Yeah, I understand there's Astrograph. Outside of Astrograph, there is no other good level 7 engine in the game. Besides maybe Dark Magician, but that's besides that. So, kudos to seeing the format back in its correct capacity. You know, another interesting sub-note here. Gem Knight FTK. I don't know what's going on here. This deck, we knew about it at the beginning of the format. It dis-a-fucking-peered. Like, it went poof. I don't know if nobody wanted to take the challenge with the deck and play it, or what. But the deck came back out of the woodwork for this event, getting 1 into top 16, which isn't really saying much, I'll be honest with you. But knowing that there's one of those little pesky motherfuckers running around, you should be prepared for that, or at least knowledgeable in what's going on. One Mech Knight Invoked. I mean, I liked the comment I read earlier about Mech Knight Invoked. The deck has always existed as one, and only one. It's the same iteration of the deck, and it's always just kind of there as one of. It's like the super rogue deck that it's like, hey guys, I'm here. You know, you've always got that one friend that doesn't want to fucking do anything, and he's always like, hey guys. But that's the best interesting way that I can explain why Mech Knight Invoke is there. I'm not really sure about if Gemini FTK being alive is going to continue to necessarily rear its evil head, but I wouldn't discount it. It's very interesting to see it back in, though. I'm not going to lie about that. I really like the fact that Gemini FTK has shown back up into the format. A little bit of degeneracy on top of degeneracy is not a bad thing. So that's my discussion on Top Cut. Besides, I probably should touch on, hey, good job, Metal Foes. You guys, you did something. It's kind of good to see that you're trying to be the rogue horse in the format, and that you're having a little bit better representation than Gemini FTK and Invoke now. I gotta say kudos to you. It's very impressive to see another Pendulum deck in the game. I do like seeing diversity in my format. I know a lot of people don't like seeing True Draco and constant Pendulum Magician. We understand this. But at the end of the day, having one more, deck sitting at the table, it's still very interesting. Now, next point. Where the fuck was the Lair of Darkness structure deck? Was it not illegal? Did I miss something? I feel like me and a couple of other people might have underestimated the power structuring for it, or maybe we just need the Brandish engine to really kick us off with this. And I've been really intrigued when I was thinking about this earlier. When we first got the Lair of Darkness structure, like, oh, the shit's absolutely busted in the OCG. But understanding that the OCG is different than the structure of the TCG, I think is the first thing that you should probably look at here. The Infernoid variants in the OCG, obviously, they're literally 2 sets ahead of us. Dark Saviors and the next core set, Cybernetic Horizon. Technically Flood too, but that's not going to be relevant for another couple of days. When you're looking at the progress of their game, they're much further ahead of us. And seeing Infernoid Lair of Darkness really be, I want to say, a counter to the current meta, it might not be the best description to go about it, but you're using a degenerate engine to tribute off your opponent's monsters. Obviously, everyone in the TCG thinks Dark Strike Fighter is this really cute way to go about it. Maybe that's where y'all went wrong. Y'all fucking thought you should play it with Dark Strike Fighter. I don't know who the fuck thought that was a good idea, but that seems terrible. But so far, we do know that Infernoid Lair of Darkness it's an incredibly good concept. It's a really good theory. It's doing relatively decent in the OCG. Obviously, they're playing it with Brandish to some capacity. We do not have Brandish at the moment. So, a pure build might not be doing that at the moment. But I wouldn't discount the Lair of Darkness just yet, because one, Konami can very well release a list to fuck up that theory and things like that. But for the most part, it did not top. It did not do well, interestingly enough, for its first event. I would have at least said that there would have been 1 or 2 in Top Cut as a roguish metagame choice that people didn't know how to play against. But you know what? Some days I evidently don't know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So, interesting key point there. Overall, I mean, I think the event went about what you would expect out of the current format. Can't wait to see how Flames of Destruction, Infinite Bullshit, Ghosts or Haunted House isn't going to really do anything in the current format, but the Nightmare Engine's going to be spectacular going forward. There's going to be a lot of interesting little things coming into the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think these little things, they're going to spice up the game. And I do love me some good spice. So, are you guys pleased with the way that the YCS went? In terms of Top Cut, I mean, it's kind of been the same shit for a hot minute now, I'll be honest with you. I know a lot of guys are like, oh boy, fucking bring on the Flames of Destruction. I'm hoping for some sort of, new push, kind of weed out the new with the old. Maybe get a little bit something going on here. A lot of people still waiting on that Konami ban list to kind of change things up, but for the most part, you'll probably be waiting another 20 years or something for that. So, but yeah, leave your thoughts down below in the comment section, and that's all I got, guys. Deucerinos. I guys have a, well, good AM. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.